Hi, friends. So I haven't made a video in a while and I might be a little nervous, but here we go. So, in light of all the events that have happened in the world this week, and all of the things that we've learned about the virus, and that we need to band together and be strong for each other and listen to the health community and do all the things we need to do to keep ourselves safe and to keep each other safe. And it's a very sort of scary time where everybody's at home and a lot of people aren't working. And also that our routines have shifted and the things that we normally do, we just can't do anymore. And we have to find new routines and new ways of living our lives that make us healthy and happy, even though this is a very scary time that's never sort of been emanated in history before. So I thought I would do a reading today with my beautiful purple box over here and see what comes forth in the cards. And I thought we would be able to do maybe a little bit of a meditation afterwards to de-stress as well. Um, I'm out of the city, so I'm in Montreal, Quebec, in Canada, as we speak, and I'm being staying at my parents' house in Hemmingford in the countryside. So that's what I'm doing at this moment, as everything has been canceled in my life as well. I thought that we would use our friends, the tarot cards, to maybe shed a little light and shed a little happiness in our days. And I want to do this every single day. I'm going to do a little bit of meditation, maybe some yoga and stretching, as well as some tarot, and just uplift everybody's mood and just make sure that we all have something to look forward to and that, we're still keeping as light and positive in all of this chaos as we possibly can. So I'm using the White Rider deck universal cards today. And I'm just going to shuffle them and I'm going to ask about the situation that's going in the world now and are we going to overcome it? And I think we will. We'll get through this like we get through everything. Some less fortunate than others, but hopefully all of you are safe and healthy with your loved ones, and we will see what the cards bring up for this situation as I shuffle. The light is nice and bright outside here in the country. You can see a few trees. Okay. We're going to split the deck. So the first one that comes up is the Three of Pentacles. I guess it's flipped over. Three of Pentacles. So the Three of Pentacles represents, things are being worked out in the situation, even though it's a pandemic and things are looking dire. We're a lot better off than we were a week ago. We're all a bit calmer now and our situations have shuffled a bit, but things are gonna, continue working and being done medically, and the government is working on stuff, and people in your families and communities are really going to come together and be empathetic and loving towards each other and help each other out the best that we can in these situations. And a lot of people are cooped up in home, so you have to remember that even though you're cooped up in home, you have to do the things that make you happy, such as your hobbies and art. And if you have animals or if you have kids, being good to all of them, and especially being good to yourself and making sure you're healthy and you're happy, even in these times of uncertainty. So, Eight of Cups is the next card that I pull out of the deck. This is actually a card of travel, which is a little ironic because nobody can travel anywhere now. So I think what this card really is asking from us is to travel in our hearts and in our minds. And even though we feel very closed off and very, very shut off from each other, we can still travel within our imaginations, and we can take this time and cultivate what we've maybe wanted to do for a long time but never had the time or the energy to do those things. So now is the time to travel into your own inner space and show it out to the world, or not, or keep it in and just like journal and travel and be creative in the way that you can, since we can't physically travel outside of our homes very far at the moment. So this card represents the King of Cups. So the King of Cups is all about emotion, overflowing of emotion, uncertainty of emotion, strong emotion. So there's lots of shifts at the moment in emotions. So I think of the water, and the water can be going from solid to liquid to gaseous to ice. So when you think of the emotions and the King of Cups, that's what this card represents, is sort of the overflow of emotions, and how we have to figure out in this time of uncertainty and difficulty how to sort of manage all of those different levels of emotions and not be too run over by them, and just have them contained in a way that we'll still be able to keep our sanity. And I think that's what the King of Cups represents here. So this one's the Four of Cups. And this one represents a little bit of, I think of the Four of Cups as sort of numbness, looking inward, reaching out into nature, reaching out into our roots, into the core of ourselves, what really makes us transform as a person without all of the outward stimulus that we're so used to in our daily lives, and to really look into our hearts, our souls, our compassionate selves, our learning selves, and just also I like to think of it as like the beginner's mind, to look into ourselves as a beginner and just start to learn from where we're at about what our needs are, and to meet those needs in a gentle, kind way, as if we were explaining what's going on to a child, and explaining the child within ourselves to be gentle and to be compassionate. So that's the present moment. So the Queen of Cups, I feel like, is a little bit more, it's a feminine card, obviously. And so as a woman myself, and I feel like in the world, everyone was trying to figure out how to help and how to save lives, others and themselves in the past couple of weeks of this turmoil and this uprising of all the illness in the world and the uncertainty of the disease. And we were just all trying to be kind and mother each other, even if we were in different countries and didn't know each other. But we all wanted the best in survival, and everyone's mothering instincts around the world, from everyday citizens to the government, just really went into overdrive and wanted to keep each other safe and loved and healthy. And that's what really the Queen of Cups represents. And that was the past. And here we have the Five of Wands here. So the Five of Wands, this is the near future. So it's going to take a lot of hard work to get this health pandemic sorted out and be okay, and have the health of our citizens of the world be stabilized enough for our lives to continue work, gym, play, concerts, all of those fun things that we have always taken for granted in our daily life. And it also represents what we really think of as being important in our daily lives, and we can reevaluate that now that we are stuck at home for a couple of weeks and really focus on what we really are and care about as individuals and people. And no matter how much money you make or don't make, it's really about the core of the person and the personality that you are and you want to show to yourself and represent to the world. So this is a really good time to put in that hard work and make some notes, journal a little bit about it, and really understand what it is for yourself that makes you happy and confident. So that's in the near future. And in the far future, things are going to continue to seem a bit of a struggle, but it's more of an inward struggle. It's more of a what's going to happen when this moment in time, this pandemic, is going to sort itself out. You still feel so closed in after being literally closed into your home for a couple of weeks. How are you going to keep yourself healthy and happy and not let the anxiety and depression take over once we are all released from our homes and we can go back into our daily lives? So we have to try and not let fear take over and wound ourselves and others after and during this is over. Oops. So the moon is how people in the world see this pandemic, and it's very gruesome, it's very sad, it's very frightening, and it's very there's lots of darkness to it. But the moon here is indeed full. The moon is full, and so that means everything will come around in a circle, as everything does, and all the phases of the moon come around to its fullness eventually. So it might take some time, but the world will get back to its fullness and its health, and maybe a little closer to each other as this all goes on. So this card is 10 of Pentacles, and it represents the health and the wealth of the world and the nations around the world to come together and to really become a family and to create a world that is sustainable and healthy together. And it can't be done with an individual mindset. It has to be done together as a family. And we make the world our families, not just ourselves and our individual immediate family, but to the whole world. So this is our hopes and fears, and as I was just talking about the world, this card is the world, and I think everyone's hope is that we can all band together, as I keep saying, and really create a world where people feel safe and happy and are free to be themselves, no matter who or what they are and what they believe in or what part of the world they live in. And I think this pandemic makes us realize that we're really way closer together than we are apart, and we all interact with each other And what happens to someone across the world from us isn't so far away after all. So this is the Four of Swords, and this just represents somebody waiting and praying. So if you have a deity or a higher power that you feel confident can help you with your emotions, and then pray with them and pray to them, and ask for help and ask for guidance and strength and in prosperity for you and your family as well. And this is the overall card of this situation, which is the Knight of Swords. And for the Knight of Swords, it means it's going to take some time and it's going to take a lot of work, but we will get through this situation and we will overcome it. So stick to your seats and stick to your saddle, as they say, and keep riding the good ride and fighting the good fight, and stick to your guns, and just help as much as you can and keep your spirits up and do what you can for everyone else. So I'm going to end this with a bit of a meditation. I'm going to say Om 3 times, and if you feel the need to say Om with me, you can. I apologize, my singing's not the greatest, but we're going to bring in the energy of the earth with goodness and kindness and healing. So that's what we're going to do at the end of my daily tarot sessions while we're stuck inside together. So I'm going to take a deep breath, close my eyes, and say Om. Peace to you and peace to me, and blessed be to everyone out there.